Good day, folks. Dallas Arcand here, the Indigenous Entrepreneur here, artist entrepreneur, I should say, because I'm here just off of my stage that I just built in the new space, in the new cafe that we're launching right here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, right in the heart of Treaty 6 territory. See, we just had an event the other night. This was just a soft launch, acoustic jam night. We had a pretty good turnout. So what this place is it's right downtown Edmonton, in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Beautiful sky, beautiful skyline, and well, we're in the downtown core of Edmonton. So this is a new facility. This is a new business venture of mine. For those of you that follow my channel, know me as Dallas Arcand, the hoop dancer. Being a world champion hoop dancer, performer, entertainer of sorts, musician at times. And so this is a new venture for those of you that follow me on Facebook or any of my other channels. And you would know that a lot of the content that I provide and share is based off of my performances, my art, everything from powwow dance aerobics. So to be an artist is actually, you have to be an entrepreneur, because most artists have to be, because we have to sell our own work. We have to be our own manager. We have to be our own bookkeeper, accountant, our own business in a way. So every artist out there is like a business in themselves. So that's what I want to share with you, is that this is beyond that. This is taking it, I'm sure I'm not the first Indigenous, or maybe I'm the first Indigenous entrepreneur to do a cafe. No, I wouldn't say that, because I know there's bros out in the East Coast that are doing it, or in the East, and Six Nations, and I think David Miracle has a cafe. So people like that have inspired me, like people like David Miracle, like other, but I'm trying to do it in my home territory, and in a way inspire the youth and inspire other Indigenous people, and also just be an Indigenous person and have a presence in the business community. And I know I'm not the only Indigenous business, because there is a couple others, but they're not quite out there as much. So maybe me being part of that community will help bring some light to that. So here is our cafe, Kakio Studio Cafe. So how I was able to make this deal happen is actually I've collaborated with a longtime friend of mine, Curtis Cardinal, the owner of Teepee Treats Indigenous Cuisine. And so he does that. So this is the new space that we're working on. This is the cafe. This is a commercial space, like right off of the downtown Edmonton. And what I've did is well, how this journey began is about a year ago. I got incorporated. Well, I got educated over the years through my manager, Eddie. So I'm very grateful for him showing me some tips and tricks of how to stay afloat as an artist, how to be responsible, accountable, and being compliant with Canadian tax laws, how to do business, how to conduct business. Even when I dress for business, I'm dressed for construction right now. I'm with my buddy Curtis. He's going up the ladder. He's handling some of the wiring there. We're just rerouting some things, because when we got this place, we had to kind of update it and fix it up a little bit. So this is the space, though. We have 3,100 square feet of commercial space, 3,100 square feet, and we're going to have events in here. We're going to do Indigenous programming for Indigenous musicians, like an open mic jam. Of course, non-Indigenous people will be more than welcome here. This is just an Indigenous business that will be available to the general public. And this is also a business. So, with that in mind, that's kind of how we're operating. I'm a legitimate businessman. And same with my business partner, Curtis Cardinal, TP Treats. Let me just show you guys around here. So this is the cafe. This is where we're gonna have comedy nights. I'm also gonna teach hoop dance class here. That's my stage. We have some of the stage lighting already in place. So it's not quite set up, but we're under construction here. But this is how I'm building a dream and building a business. And keep in mind, part of my backstory is I'm just some res kid, you know, like I'm from the res. I was poor. And the reason why I'm sharing this story is because I, and in fact, I came from humble beginnings of being poor, being on welfare, and a lot of Indigenous people can relate to that because a lot of our people are in poverty. So I started out like being that poor kid, never had a vehicle. My poor mother had to collect welfare, and there was no job opportunities. So I took it upon myself to just made a vow to myself that I would work hard and I would create opportunities in life and make something of myself and try to change that narrative of my life. And so 30 years later, I'm here now. But where it all started was the hoop dancing. The hoop dancing definitely saved my life. So let me give you a little tour here of the business. So this is like our equipment room, but we're gonna fix this up too. So this is currently where the cafe is being built or being modified and fixed. So there's the counter. We got all that. All the stainless steel stuff's coming in. The stuff for the cooler for buying items. Oh, and did I mention we have more space on this side? So look at we even have a bulletin board. Kakio Studio Cafe. I even developed a code of ethics so everybody that works within this facility is following the rules while in compliance with the laws and regulations and the rules. Kakio Productions is all about being professional, being accountable, and that's, to me, those are the rules I want to live by, and those are the rules I want to operate with my friends, just so that we're safe in those parameters. And this is the tool room right now, but this is eventually going to be the supply room for the TP Treats Cafe that's coming into here. So this is part of the cafe. This is where he's gonna write on the board. Right now it's under construction, so don't mind the mess there, folks. This is definitely a work in progress. So this will be TP Treats' office. So we're currently under construction, so this is still under development. So this is going to be a flex space. Right now we're just using it as storage for storing our construction material. And so this is my office. So this is where, oh, I shut off the light, didn't I? Okay, just bear with me. So we're just taking our time and making this space, fixing it right, doing it right, like Mike Holmes off of HGTV, just making sure that we're doing it right. So this is where it all started for me, folks, is being a hoop dancer, being a world champion hoop dancer, and taking it to that level of hoop dancing. And part of my story is acquiring these titles, and these titles changed my life. Hoop dancing changed my life. It gave me opportunities. It made me a role model. Even when I wasn't trying to be a role model, folks. I was just trying to survive as an Indigenous person. Growing up in the rough streets of Edmonton, growing up poor, all these things, all these factors, they were against me. I should have ended up on the streets. I should have ended up in jail. Could have been dead by now, but now I've made it this far in life, and I figure, I'm still alive, I'm still here, and I made it this far, so might as well take on the next challenge. So this is the next challenge, entrepreneurship, opening up a legitimate business, taking a shot at making a cafe, making a vision come alive. And in that cafe, we are going to have programming, because we talk about things here, we have meetings here, and we plan these things, right? So we're going to have like an open mic night on that stage, comedy night, maybe storytelling night, and dance class, art, open jam, DJ, comedy night, and then we're kind of working out these things. We work them out, erase them, get them into paper, get them into policy, and boom, we're done. So that's the operation. That's how I'm operating, and I live and breathe my work, basically. So that's another thing I wanted to share, how to be a good entrepreneur, is they say fake it till you make it, but I think what they really mean by fake it till you make it, is even when you're trying to fake it, you're actually kind of becoming that. So if you dress up as a businessman and a businesswoman or a business person, and you're wearing good attire, I'm not doing that today. for me, it's the inside out and taking these ideas forward is what makes me a legitimate businessman. Like, I got my own swagger style of a businessman. Hey, Jay-Z's a businessman. He's a CEO. You know, he's successful. He's a billionaire, one of the most successful. So never judge a person how they dress if they're an entrepreneur. Like, sure, if I was going to apply for a job, I would want to look good for the company, but yeah, you know, in public events, I will look good, but I'm just letting you know I'm organic and this is how I am. Oh, immigrant from India. All right, have to take your kid's job. Oh, what? Oh, what? Okay, from India. Oh, okay. I'll read that comment later. I wasn't sure what was being said there, but I was just sharing part of my journey here as an entrepreneur. And if this person is taking a swing at Indigenous people and being insulting, then that's his choice. I wasn't sure. But if he's being constructive and real, then that's okay too. This is the virtual world, the virtual space of where those things can occur. So essentially, I'm not going to let it bother me. But what I am going to say to anybody that has any you know, opinions about that, and so sure, we have people coming from other countries into our country. That's been happening for the past 500 years. So if you're talking about Indigenous stuff like that, and that's part of my point of sharing this Indigenous entrepreneurial video today, is that more and more of our people need to step forward and make their dreams a reality. And even if that's like, you know, making a store, like a comic book store, or selling Indigenous crafts and Indigenous, well, that's kind of been done, but, you know, Indigenous business owners, like an Indigenous owned Tim Hortons, it doesn't even have to say it's Indigenous owned, but an Indigenous person. More and more people of our people need to get engaged in the business community, because that's where our voices are really amplified in those communities. I haven't been really exercising that, but I know that there's power in the entrepreneurial world, and that's just going to give us a boost naturally. I won't even have to like barge in the door and say that, oh, hey, I got a voice now. No, actually, our voices are going to be amplified by doing and becoming part of that thing, becoming that business, becoming that entity, becoming that service to provide to the world and helping make the world a better place. So that's all I can say. And thank you guys for sharing. And sorry if I got that confused. And somebody was asking me, do I work at Home Depot? No, I don't work at Home Depot. I'm an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs usually don't have jobs. So I'm gonna riff off of whatever you guys say at any given time if I see a comment. And I'm here to answer questions. All the haterade, well, you know, if I get a hate comment, I usually just delete those. But you know, I'm here for good stuff. I'm here to share good stuff for a good cause. You know, and we're all working together collectively, one way or another, to make this business happen. And that's what I'm doing here up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I look forward to making this more a reality, more a vibe, more of a constant, and something that our people can be proud of. It's, you know, like having, it's like having a space for our people to thrive, to grow, to prosper, and to, you know, show our young people, show our children that you know, hard work and consistency pays off. And I know not everybody has the same story, the same opportunities. Neither do I, but part of mine is I started out in the struggle. I started out rough. I was an orphan kid. I was abused. I was traumatized. And I still carry those wounds today. But you know what? I patch them up and just keep going, and that's all a person can do. Is you can't let those things kill you from the inside. Like, I just lost my dad, right? I just had my dad's funeral service. You know, I've lost a lot of relatives in my life, and it's sad that when we lose those people, but we gotta continue on regardless what, because we gotta we have responsibilities in our own lives to take care of, and I have children and I have grandchildren, and I'm thinking about the future, and then also as an artist, using these gifts is my responsibility, and this is how I'm kind of giving back in a way. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the content that I create. I hope to create more episodes here on this channel. So this is only the first, the introductory, and I'll show you guys some tips and tricks. You know, like I I got a passion for building things, and that's the other thing I wanted to share about this is that not only I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm a DIY hobbyist. So I like to fix up things and just rehabilitate them, bring them back to life, make them better. So that's what we did here in this space. We actually recycled a lot of we reused a lot of the material, repurposed things, and so we didn't just demolish it and throw it away. No, we just work with what we had within our perimeters, make it work, and make it classy, not trashy. That's all. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna peace out. All right, enjoy. Have a good night.